Hi everyone, welcome to another video tutorial of Capsa. In this tutorial, we will understand about Huntington disease. So it's a neurodegenerative inherited disorder that causes the progressive breakdown of nerve cells in the brain. Inherited means it passed on from a person's parent. Autosomal, so it's a kind of autosomal dominant inheritance. And certain area of brain is affected, specifically basal ganglia. This disease was first described by an American doctor, George Huntington, in 1872, who wrote on a paper called On Chorea. So, Chorea comes from a Greek and Latin word, it means dance. Here, referred to as abnormal involuntary writhing movements, also called as Huntington chorea. Clear? This disease usually begin in the age of 30 and 40 years, but if the onset begins before the age of 20, the condition is called as juvenile Huntington disease. According to the study, about 30,000 people in the United States have Huntington disease, and 3 to 7 out of every 1 lakh people affected who belongs to European ancestry. Okay, now we will understand what is the cause. So, it is mainly caused by faulty gene that is known as Huntington gene. So, faulty Huntington gene, also known as mutated Huntington gene or mHTT. Okay. Now, if this gene inherited from generation to generation, obviously it will transfer from one generation to another generation. So, this faulty gene creates a faulty protein. Which kind of protein? Known as or Huntingtin protein, okay, also known as HTT or written as HTT. Okay, now the thing is, this protein generally present in human and rat tissues normally, and it helps in the maturation of nerve fiber. So if there is a faulty protein produced, obviously it will interfere with the nerve function and damage the nerve cells, and this gene actually present in the short arm of the chromosome 4, and this gene also known as or mTT gene, this gene also known as IT15 gene or IT15. IT stands for interesting transcript 15. So this faulty gene produces faulty protein. As a result of what? Obviously it will leads to abnormal protein cleavage, also folding, abnormal folding, this kind of things will happen, etc. After that, due to abnormal protein cleavage and folding, it will create an abnormal molecular interaction. Also, some abnormal gene expression, homeostasis, metabolism, etc. Okay, which will leads to cognitive, psychiatric, motor symptoms. Simply leads to Huntington disease. Now the question is how this gene produces the faulty protein. Okay, so normally this gene contains a proline rich residue or domain which is adjacent to the extended or expanded polyglutamine tract. Okay, so normally I have said this protein rich in proline, and this proline rich domain adjacent to the expanded polyglutamine tract. So this protein contains polyglutamine, also known as polyQ, and the gene has a sequence CAG which actually codes this glutamine amino acid, okay, or polyglutamine residues. Now the thing is, if this CAG, so we need to understand, we need to keep in mind that this polyglutamine tract stretches at the N terminus, okay, and this N terminus where the repetitive unit of CAG present. So if this kind of repetition occurs at a at the coding region at a length of 35 to 36, it is normal. What I have said, I am repeating. This polyQ tract stretches at the N terminal end where this CAG repetition occurs. If this CAG or trinucleotide repetition occurs at the coding region at a repeat length 35 to 36, it will normal. Okay, if the expansion occurs around 36 to 25, it will show the Huntington disease, or it will leads to the conformational changes that will produce misfolding of the protein, as a result cellular dysfunction. Clear? Now we will understand what are the stages. So stages are actually 5 stages. First one is preclinical stage or early stage. In this stage, an individual will start to develop mild symptoms such as anxiety, unusual irritability, poor coordination, this kind of things, which will hardly noticeable. In the second stage, physical signs of the disease will become more prominent and will affect someone's daily life. Emotion, behavioral issues are found in this stage. In the third stage, in this stage, it will develop slowly and takes around near about 5 to 16 years, which shows the issues with walking, difficulty with memory, issues with performing motor tasks, etc. In the fourth stage, it usually takes 9 to 21 years, though it can vary from person to person. Psychosis, rigidity, apathy, severe loss of cognitive functions, abnormally slow movements, this kind of symptoms will be developed in this stage. Okay, in the fifth stage, it is a severe stage where an individual will require 24/7 assistance. They will unable to communicate, even it will hard to perform basic motor functions such as swallowing. Clear? Now we will understand what are the symptoms. So hallmark sign is uncontrolled movement of the arms, legs, head, face and upper body, which is referred to as chorea, which results in the decline in the thinking, reasoning skills, including your memory, concentration, judgment and ability to plan or organize. Okay, so basic symptoms are, muscular symptoms are abnormality in walking, problems with coordination, amnesia, delusion, lack of concentration. These are cognitive. Behavioral are compulsive behavior, irritability, etc. And psychological is depression, and mood type of disorder shows anxiety. So these are the basic sign and symptoms. Okay. Now we will see how the diagnosis is occur, or how the diagnosis is done. So based on first one is general physical examination. Second one is review of your family medical history if there is any inheritance occur. Okay. Third one is neurological examination. Fourth one is psychological examination, and fifth one is imaging test. Now, which kind of neurological examinations actually performed? Neurologist to check the motor symptoms like reflex, muscle tone, coordination and balance. This kind of motor symptoms will checked by neurologist, and some sensory symptoms like hearing, vision, sense of touch, this kind of sensory symptoms also checked by neurologist. Now the fourth one is psychological examinations. These are include a psychiatrist will check your behavioral pattern, quality of judgment, emotional states. This kind of things are checked under this category. Fifth one is imaging test, means brain imaging testing like CT scan, MRI, PET, etc. Clear? Now the next one is treatment. Which kind of treatment procedures are performed? So there is no treatment, only medicines are used to help and control the symptoms and also prevent the complications, not the disease itself. Okay. So first medication used is tetrabenazine, haloperidol, amantadine, this kind of. Therapies are include psychotherapies, speech therapies, occupational therapies. These are, and other cares actually refers to as to maintain the body weight of the patient, to provide a special care, to take care of the nutrition, this kind of things. Okay. So this is the end of my lecture. If you like the video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for